Hello guys, and welcome back to my video where I'm actually doing art. Well, the first part of this video is an art trade with an artist that I decided to do a trade with named Violet. This is her alien character, who's a girl, obviously. I wanted to do something very drastic other than my normal coloring style, which is cell shading and very basic shadows and stuff. And I wanted to try what I could with it to see how it would turn out. And as the video progresses on, you will eventually see my OC Beatrix from Candylanders, who's an OC that I made, not part of the main storyline, which belongs to Lost White. But there's Beatrix, and then there's I'm not gonna be able to pronounce his name correctly. I think it's Huyu. I don't know. Ooh. But there'll be a piece of art of them throughout this. Well, one piece of art through this video, and the one main one that I wanted to get done was for a chapter that I've been working on for a /fanfiction/normal story, which is based around, I'm probably gonna butcher her name, Sarah J. Moss? I don't know. But I made a OC named Sardris Ravelet? I can't pronounce her last name correctly, and she's my OC. But I decided to draw the scene in chapter 2, which is not released yet until I finish typing it up and sending it in on Wattpad in order for people to read. But I can't believe it that the fanfiction/fan story that I made has already 33 views. It means at least people are enjoying it for me to see that. And I really love seeing people enjoy it, or any story that I write for that matter. And I know there's this one project that I've been working on diligently, somewhat, called Creepy Dark Boys Pasta, which is my first ever comic that I made. And I got inspired by Lost White, who made a comic named Creepy Frozen Pasta, which, in my opinion, it's a good storyline, the plot's good. The way she interwovens, I don't know, her OC with the other creepypastas is amazing. Dang it. I hit something. But in my opinion, it works out that way, and her storyline, top notch. The art, whew, can't compare to mine, but hers is, to me, it's goddess work. She's a really optimistic person, in my opinion, and I love her content. But yeah, eventually I'll be making my own comic dub. I've already got the cast put together. Well, most of the cast. I have 2 other characters that need to be voiced for, because I voice like, I think 4 characters. Oh god, that's too many, in my opinion. Like, for voice actors, it should be, they can either take up 2 roles or 3 roles. Any more than that, it's getting kind of ridiculous, since a lot of people would get sick of your voice. In my opinion, I get sick of my own voice. But, yeah. I don't know what to talk about during this. I guess I could talk about how I keep finding really terrible books that I've been reading. I actually started reading I don't understand why it's a bestseller book, and please don't witch hunt and like, don't yell at me in the comments below. Don't say, oh, Lavi's like trashing on your book. But in my opinion, authors do whatever the hell they want. I do that myself in my own time, writing worlds and universes that are repeatedly stuck within my head that are just crying and screaming to get out. That's what happened with like my first comic, my second comic, and eventually my third comic. There's gonna be like so many comics that I make, oh my god. But I guess the main topic of this video, besides art and randomness, is how world building for authors, with some people who dream about their worlds, you know, like they write their book and it's based on a dream they had last night or whatever. For for the trash and all the people who possibly agree with me, the example Twilight. I'm not trying to trash talk the author, but she dreamed about it. I've done stories that I've dreamed about too, but in my opinion, the world in Twilight isn't woven, I don't know, isn't woven very well to where someone can enjoy it. It's always, you know, oh, it's hot vampires that sparkle in the sunlight. There's hot werewolves that take their shirts off in order to transform. Like, in my opinion, that's kind of stupid because it degrades the kind of it brings a stereotype to those specific fantasy/horror creatures. I have nothing against, you know, handsome boys, hot werewolves, like, I have nothing against that, but at least do the world building and character development. I can't stress enough character development. Because, there's this one book that I started called Hush Hush. I forget who it's by. Hang on a second. I'm gonna look it up. I gotta, like, type. Oh god. If it loads. Hush Hush by, I'm gonna so butcher her last name, Becca Fitzpatrick. I just started that book, and within the first chapter to the third chapter, that's how far I got. I could not stand the main character. I could not stand I couldn't stand the teacher / coach in the story. I could stand the best friend, because the best friend was at least plausible and understanding with her humor and, oh, teen hormones, but, like, oh my god, I hate the love interest so much. I think his name's Patch or something, but the book, I'm already, like, 4 to 3 chapters in, and I really hate the mentality of the main character. I can't stand her. And, like, this is in my opinion. You can yell at me all you want, but it's how I feel. And Hush Hush. What am I doing? Hush Hush. Try to say that 5 times fast. With Hush Hush, the main character, I think her name's Nova. By the way, it's a good name. But, I think it's Nova. Nova? I don't know. But, in my opinion, she's not bearable at all. Her personality is so annoying. The plot line for, like, her finding interest in Patch, who's, I guess, a fallen angel, because, can't love hot, evil things enough as it is, right? She tries to follow him everywhere. Is like, oh, he's maybe stalking me. I felt a presence in my room, at my window. Like, in my opinion, it's kind of stupid to be like, oh, he's hot. I should, like, interrogate him. Like, it's so stupid to a degree that I don't want to read the book. Like, I don't understand how it's a bestseller. I don't understand how many people give it good credit. I mean, I guess for if you get further into the book and it's like, oh, she loves him. You're just saying that, Lavi. But honestly, I cannot stand it. I'm going to return the book because I got it from the library. I'm going to return it and read a different, actual, plausible, and bearable story that I can deal with. Whereas, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, shit on any other stories. Like, my own writing, I cringe at, and I think it's terrible. Other people may be like, oh, don't say that. It's really good. I love the story. I love the characters. Are they gonna hook up? Like, I did that for one book that I didn't finish called Lonesomeness. Yeah, it's Lonesomeness. With I think I called her Angelus, or Ange for short, and Alex, which is one of the characters in that book. And what I did was I basically was like, oh, maybe I should do one based around relationships and how terrible they can get. And I basically did that. And, like, the one person that actually read it was like, it's beautiful, I love it, like, how's it gonna end? And that meant somewhat a lot to me, but also my world building is not that great. I can understand that. With certain characters that I have in my stories, though, I can understand how unlikable I try to make them, but then they turn out all, oh, I love you, like so and so. But I'm probably talking nonsense. But the recent story that I'm working on is kind of a fan fiction slash fan story based around Akatar, or the Court series by Sarah J. Maas. And I named it A Monster of the Night Court, which is based around my OC Sardris Ravelet. And oh, I'm gonna butcher his name, because the male character that Sardris meets, besides the other characters from like Mass's Court series, is this other OC, which belongs to my boy Saito. And so I'm gonna butcher his name so much. I think it's Sabriel Raz. Sabriel, I don't know. It's like similar to an angel name, but so Sardris eventually meets him, and it's basically based on Sardris and Sabriel meeting and her hating him for the first time before stuff happens. And in all honesty, I want this story to turn out very well. I get it, a lot of fantasy books people hate. They hate the romance. They hate how bad boys are the only good stereotype. Nerdy boys are terrible. I can understand how, like, oh, they all have hot jawlines, such full, plush lips. Are they, like, kissable? Like, in my opinion, it's kind of stupid. I try not to lean towards that path of only showing attraction and how attractive someone is. So I try to give the most basic characteristics to characters, not hot ones. Like, I try to make it be like, oh, they're not ugly, but they're cute. But yeah. For me, I try my best to build the world up, build the characters, motives, and growth a little bit more in the beginning. No, like, the stupid thing of, like, how they think about one thing and then suddenly it's gone and they're like, oh, I have no reason to worry anymore, and then you just sit around all day. What I do is I build up the situations, cause problems, which is good in a story, because you don't want everything to be perfect, somewhat. Or else, like, people not read the book or hate it. That happened to a book I read during, I don't remember, but it's called The Iron Thorn by, I think it's Caitlin Kittredge. Probably butchered the last name, but I get it. The world was like based around steampunk, not really London, but like the steampunk aspect of metal and things coming to life, goggles, whatever. And I could not stand the main character. I forget what her name was, but I couldn't stand her. Whereas the other two male characters in the story, I actually liked more than the main character. And that's the same about how I feel for Hush Hush, where if you don't build the main character up enough, yeah, some people will hate them, but you want to give like certain aspects to why they're this way, instead of like being like, oh, that's just them, you know, like if they're being assholes, that's their character arc. You know, you can't hate them for that, right? Like, you can't do that to readers, in my opinion. Then again, it's probably nonsense coming from me. But to me, I think you should build up the character in order for people to enjoy it. But anyway, the video is almost over. And in all honesty, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it. So yeah, bye.
Nothing can change you. No, I decided to play when I knew you were fire. No, it started off warm, but now I hear the choir. Yeah. Who do you think you are? Leaving your keys in my